Hey, this is Natasha Nurse with Plus Model Magazine, and I'm super duper excited to be speaking with the amazing Leni K. She is a photographer who was diagnosed with polycystic ovary syndrome, and that really changed the ways that she felt about her confidence and self esteem, and that led her to starting the Breaking Beauty Standards photo series and social media campaign. So, how are you?
I'm so good. Thank you so much for speaking with me. I'm really excited.
Absolutely. Yes. So tell me first, how did you get into photography?
I got into photography about 4 years ago, and growing up, I always knew I just liked pretty things. Like I like to make things pretty, and it was about 4 years ago when I was taking photos of my husband, and he had looked at the picture and he was like, "Wow, this is really good. You should actually think about getting into photography." And so I kind of chewed on it a little bit, and then I was like, "All right, well I'll try it maybe." So I got one of those super cheap Walmart cameras, and I just played around with it on Friends and things. And then he ended up buying me a camera, like a real DSLR camera, and yeah, it just kind of took off from there. Like I didn't take any photography. I went to the University of YouTube and really just kind of dove into it, and I have fallen in love since. I became full time about 2 years ago, and it has been amazing.
Wonderful. So self-taught, that's really impressive. I love that.
Oh, thank you.
So now what do you envision like long term for the Breaking Beauty Standards project?
Long term, don't I don't necessarily, when people ask me that, I don't know if I want to put a certain time limit to it. I just know that as long as there's women who have different stories to tell, I'll gladly be that person to go to, I think it's important that people continue to see women who struggle with real issues, who have overcame real issues, and as long as I can continue to be that go-to, then I will. But who knows how long that'll be.
Okay, gotcha. Now, given the origin of how you started it, what would you say were the biggest things that helped you gain a better level of body confidence and sense of body love?
I have surrounded my circle with people who support me, who love me, and really boost my confidence. That and I have honestly, social media, I've followed all the plus size inspirational women on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and I really just whatever I put in my eyes, I know it's gonna go in my heart. So, yeah, I really just my surroundings, I guess, have been a really a key to my body positivity and my confidence. And outside of that, I have wow. Actually, photography has really been a key as well. Like when my husband was taking photos of me for the first time, it took me a while to be able to look at myself in full view in the camera. You know how it can be. But once I saw these pictures, these professional pictures, I was like, oh my gosh, I guess I am kind of cute. Like I don't look that bad.
Yeah.
It really changed to see the perspective that he saw me in. So that has been a really key as well.
Awesome. Yeah, that is it's interesting because I find that you wouldn't think that photography could be a good outlet, but essentially you would propose that to women, right? To really, if they were looking
Definitely.
to be more body confident, go out and take pictures and just kind of be in the moment with yourself, right?
For sure, for sure.
Now, as a photographer, what are some of the common reasons you're seeing or hearing women say when it comes to struggling with their bodies and how they are trying to overcome it?
In my experience, there was one experience in particular that kind of sticks out in my head. Is I had this woman who reached out to me to take pictures of her and her family, and when I did, she had pre-warned me. She said, "I haven't had photos done of myself in 25 years since my wedding." And I was like, "Oh, okay, well, can I ask you why?" And she said, "It's because I'm so insecure about my body. I don't like to show my arms. I can't stand to see my face in pictures." And I whenever she initially told me that, I got a little nervous. I was like, oh my gosh, I hope she likes her pictures. Like, but I don't know. It was kind of hard for me. But when we got to the session, we just had so much fun. And when she got her photos back, she had sent me a long message about how beautiful she felt and how she hadn't seen herself like that, and like all the compliments she's been getting, and how it really just helped her out. And yeah, it's things like that that keep me going. You know, I think people underestimate the power in viewing yourself how others can view you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been quite the adventure. I've learned so much in the past year or so about this. So I'm so excited about it.
Also, what I find as growing up all my life, I would say, I definitely myself struggled with being bullied and not feeling confident in my looks or my body, and thankfully having that tide turn when I became an adult. But there is something to be said about also learning how to take a good picture. I think that women don't. I think when more women would feel better about when they have to go in front of the camera if they knew like certain poses and what are better angles for their bodies. And do you agree?
Right. Yeah, I definitely agree. I also, to add on to that, society or the world will tell you, like, if you're a curvy girl, then you should avoid wearing crop tops or stripes or this or that. And I really just, like, I'm curious to know who made these rules because like some of my favorite pictures of myself, I'm wearing a crop top. So it's just such a curious thing to know that people like feel they're entitled to make comments about your body, and it's just I just don't understand it.
It's a lot of it, I think, comes down to like people's own hatred and disgust, and they lack of confidence of themselves, and then they transpose that onto other people, right? So if I don't feel good in a crop top, you can't feel good in a crop top either. Also, people having certain belief systems like women should only look this way, women of a certain size should only wear things like this, right? And so there's all these like rules, and that there is no arbiter on fashion. There is no definitive book to point to this, but people kind of put it in their heads. And then, like you were saying earlier, the people you have around you really can make a difference, right? So if you're surrounded by people who are super judgmental, people who will tell you your business in a hot minute, then then you feel very confined, and your life choices and how you feel about yourself will get molded and formed by that. So it's important to definitely have a support system, have people who really love you, because also people who love you but will put you down, is that really love? Is that really care, right? So really like identifying what does support look like. Now, when it comes to media, we definitely see a lack of body diversity. Do you have any thoughts on that as to why that's happening?
I've been curious myself as to why, because the whole photo series was to highlight that 67% of women were plus size, but only 8% were represented in media. Mm-hmm. And when you look in movies and TV and things like that, there's always these like super thin, also beautiful women who would be in like these cliques or whatever. But there's always that one curvy girl who's like quirky or goofy or like there for like the comic relief or whatever. And I really always wondered that, and I have no idea, but I do notice that in the past few years there are women who are standing up and saying, like, who cares? Like, this is me. I'm fierce. I am powerful, and who's gonna stop us? Pretty much. And yeah, it's so exciting. I love seeing it. I love that there's people who are making a stand for women, and I think it's the beginning of something really, really amazing.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it comes down to, like, at least at Plus Model Magazine, that's why I love being a part of the platform, right? That there's an outlet like Plus Model Magazine, which is dedicated to showcasing body diversity and the beauty of people of all different sizes, and particularly, showcasing women who are plus size, because we're denied magazine covers, we're denied roles in movies, we're a lot of things, and pretty much treated like second-class citizens. And as you said, it doesn't make sense. If 67% of women are plus size, then shouldn't we be the face of everything, right? Like,
I would think so.
yeah, you would think so, but with that stigma and again breaking down stereotypes that for a long time plus size women were not seen as sexual women in media, which is composed by people who put out that narrative, right? It's not a narrative that exists on its own. Someone believes that and enforces that with books, with film, with TV. And so we have to break it. And I think that having more women behind the camera, behind the desk who says they're the producer, right? These are the people that if you have the ability to control the narrative, then the narrative can be diverse, right? So I think that's
exactly
what I would definitely like to see in 2018. Are there any specific influencers that you like really just admire, like you were, I think, mentioning earlier before?
There is specifically the one influencer, the model that had a really like I looked at her and I was like, she kind of looks like me. Like she's like me, and she's in magazines, and she's the bomb. She's in Vogue. With Ashley Graham, she has played a big part in me just being able to be like, hey, you know what? She's sexy, and I'm sexy too, and curvy women are fine.
I love it. Be like kind of like the Me Too, be like sexy too, right? Like she's sexy, so am I. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. You have to, for identity, right? You have to, if you see yourself in things, then you feel better about yourself. If you never see yourself, then it's very frustrating. So okay,
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. Now, are there specific women that we should be like on the lookout for who's coming up in the series that you're doing?
Right now, I'm actually in the process of kind of brainstorming of what I will be doing next. But right now, or what I just did last week was a series. Like I just photographed it. I haven't even started posting it yet. But I have a series of women who we all just got in a sports bra. We wrote down negative words that's been spoken over us all over our body. And a lot of those words were words that we've said to ourselves. Because a lot of the time, women can say things to themselves that they would never let someone else say to them. So that I think that is such a powerful thing when you can speak positive words over yourself. You know the possibilities are endless of what you are able to do. So I'm excited to share that one.
Great. I love that because absolutely. I definitely try to enforce that with people that I work with that, the negative self-talk is what is holding you back. A lot of times it's ourselves that hold us back. And that, if you were to say as many positive things to yourself as you would say negative, you would feel so more empowered and so happier. I'm so much happier about yourself and about your life. But so many people say, I'm stupid. That was stupid for me to think. That was stupid for me to do. I'm ugly. I'm this. I'm that. All these horrible, false, vicious lies. And because even when you struggle, like there's value to struggling, right? And I think that people should see the better part of themselves always, and why. If there's something you want to change about yourself, absolutely, that's your life, your journey. Do what you want to do, but we have to stop the negative self-talk. So that seems exciting. When is that when are you releasing those pictures?
Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday. Cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, are you looking for other women to kind of join the series? And if so, how can they be a part of it, or at least like get in touch with you and work with you?
In the future, what I plan to do is, because since I'm based in Michigan and I have had women from different states reach out and ask how they could be a part. And as of right now, if you're in Michigan, contact me. I would love for you to be a part. There is no there's no rules on what you should look like or anything. As a matter of fact, this past one, I had women of all different sizes. So just to say that all women are subject to being body shamed. They're like, it doesn't discriminate. you can be a size 7 and still feel certain types of way about your body.
Absolutely.
So I kind of want to hone in on that on this photo series, but yeah, for the future, I'm really wanting to just take women who have reached out before and just have them send a selfie or like a picture of themselves and just tell me their story. If they want to, I'm more than open to share that with everybody as well, just to kind of, show everybody that there's women from all over the world, not just in Michigan, that have, dealt with this and who have overcame and who, just want to share their story about confidence and self-love.
Absolutely. So yeah, I definitely will make sure to include your website and social media handles in the post on Plus Model Magazine so that everyone can see the great work that you're doing and, get more familiar even with the series itself. And I guess my last question would be, we're in a new year, it's 2018. Like, what are tips that you have for women to make sure that if they haven't been loving their bodies and being confident in their bodies, this is the year to do it. So what should they do?
I would say, well, first and foremost, I think the most important thing is what we talked about previously with speaking positively over yourself, because words can be so powerful, and they will they'll either push you back or they'll propel you. So, I just think that's probably one of the most important things to do, just to get in the habit of telling the parts of your body that you didn't necessarily like before, just telling them that you love it. And of course, you're going to have bad days. You're going to have off days. Not everybody is going to love their body every day, especially when you're in a process. But it's about just bouncing back, correcting your negative thinking, and, just doing that every single day. And I think that another thing would be to try not to determine your value on a number on the scale. I know I kind of have it before of just checking my weight 5 times a day, and it would make or break my day for sure. And I would gain 4 ounces, and I would be just so upset about it for the rest of the day. So just know that your value comes within. And that your body image doesn't have a whole lot to do with your pant size. It's like a whole mentality shift that you should work towards, so you can appreciate your curves and your individuality and who you are. And I'd say just do things that you are uncomfortable doing or you're scared to do as well. And try not to compare yourself to others, but definitely do things that you're afraid to do, because I know when I stepped in front of the camera for the first time, I was scared, I was insecure, I was not confident at all, but after I saw the results, it got easier and easier every time I did a shoot. So just do things that you're scared to do in every aspect of life. I think that can go universally for everyone, But yeah, absolutely. So I think those 3 things are the most important.
Absolutely. I love it, Leni. Thank you for starting this project. I think that this is, hopefully going to continue to get bigger and bigger, and that women will finally stop dogging themselves out, right? That we will embrace our bodies regardless, right, of what the scale says, and that your beauty and your worth and your power and your magnificence has nothing to do with how much you weigh or how you look, but it's about who you are and what person you are going to be in this world. So, this project is going to be a part of emphasizing that. And that's what pushes our humanity further. Because, the goal is not like at the end of the day, we're not here to be like, oh my God, I weighed 110 pounds, right? Like, that's ludicrous. So the more women that can embrace this and kind of actually go out and live their lives and be passionate and be change agents, that's what's going to make this world go better and be a better place. So thank you for everything that you're doing and taking the time to speak with me from Plus Model Magazine. So have a wonderful day.
Yeah, you too. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.